2 Kings 2, 1 through 25, Devotional Focus Verse. And Elijah said unto him, Tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they two went on. 2 Kings 2, 6. For years in the 1800s, inventors had been working with various types of electric lights. However, Thomas Edison wanted to make an electric light that was practical for homes and offices and had the potential of replacing gas lights. For 2 years, he looked for a suitable material that could be used as the filament, and his search included sending agents to the Amazon jungles and Japan's forests and experimenting with thousands of materials. In 1879, he concluded that a filament would last longer if it was in an oxygen-free bulb. After many failures, Edison made a light bulb with carbonized thread as the filament. In December of that year, news of Edison's breakthrough development of an electric incandescent light amazed the world. His persistence generated a life-changing product. In today's text, Elisha's determination to follow his master exhibited the same type of persistence. The prophet Elijah, whom Elisha had served for 7 or 8 years, asked him not just once but 3 times to wait and not follow him. This instruction was not given because Elijah did not want the younger man with him, but rather it appeared to be a test of Elisha's devotion. However, Elisha was determined that he was going to stay with his master. He was not going to leave him. He determined to follow him relentlessly. The sons of the prophets also tried to discourage Elisha from following Elijah, suggesting he stay back and observe from afar. Yet Elisha was not deterred, and ultimately his determination and devotion were rewarded. He received a double portion of Elijah's spirit because he persevered and followed all the way. We can learn by observing the perseverance of Elisha. His determination should encourage us to persist in our personal walk with the Lord. At times we may face spiritual setbacks and obstacles, and we may be tempted to pull back and only view from afar, as the sons of the prophets did. Yet, we have the opportunity to receive blessings by exhibiting devotion and faithfulness in our lives. By following the Lord and staying with Him to the end, we have His promise to be with us and help us, and eventually to give us eternity with Him. Like Elisha, we must persist. It will be well worth the effort. Background information. After the historical account of the rulers of Israel given in chapter 1, this chapter of 2 Kings details Elijah's departure from the earth and the commencement of Elisha's ministry. Elisha had been Elijah's servant and apprentice for about 7 or 8 years, and God had revealed that Elijah would be taken to heaven. The sons of the prophets were groups of students who were in training. Schools for the prophets had been started in the time of Samuel, and the students apparently lived in selected cities, including Gilgal, Bethel, and Jericho. Perhaps Elijah visited these places on his last day to encourage them. The Hebrew words pi shayahem, translated double portion, means 2 parts, not double the quantity. Elisha's request for a double portion was a reference to Deuteronomy 21:15 through 17, which granted 2 shares of the inheritance to the oldest son who would become the family leader. At this time, students of distinguished teachers were commonly described as their children. Because Elisha had been called to become the leader of the prophets in Elijah's place, he wanted to claim this inheritance of a double portion of his spiritual influence, so he could fulfill his role. Granting Elisha's request was not in Elijah's power. The answer had to come from God, but it was promised if he saw Elijah go to heaven. A fiery chariot and horses separated Elijah from Elisha, and a whirlwind caught up Elijah. The only other people who had left this world without dying were Enoch and Jesus after his resurrection. Elisha saw Elijah go, and his expression, my father," acknowledged Elijah as his spiritual father and mentor. The mantle worn by Elijah was probably made of sheepskin. That God directed its fall to where Elisha could pick it up indicated that Elisha had received the double portion he had requested and confirmed that Elisha was Elijah's successor. Elisha tore off his own clothes, perhaps as an indication of his grief, but the putting on of Elijah's mantle could have been symbolic of stepping into his new role. The sons of the prophets who were watching from afar had seen Elijah strike the Jordan River with his mantle and had observed that the river had parted. As Elisha stood by the river and smote the water with the mantle, God confirmed to Elisha and also the watching sons of the prophets that Elisha had received his anointing. The prophets accepted him as their leader. When they asked to look for Elijah's body, Elisha told them not to go, but they insisted. The futility of their search further confirmed Elisha's leadership position. The miracles God promptly worked through Elisha authenticated his position as Elijah's successor. At Jericho, contaminated water was cleansed by using salt. On the road to Bethel, mocking youths were punished. The word translated children can refer to people in their 20s or 30s, and these must have been old enough to be accountable for their actions. Some Bible scholars believe these were young men who were demonstrating great disrespect for God, as shown by their dishonor of his messenger. Bethel was the northern kingdom's center of idolatry, and the people of the area had a disdainful attitude toward God and his prophets. Elisha pronounced a curse, but God sent the punishment. Conclusion: even though some around us may try to discourage us, perseverance with God never goes unnoticed or unrewarded.
Chapter 2. And it came to pass, when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, Tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. And the sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha, and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, Yea, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Elijah said unto him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Jericho. And he said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they came to Jericho. And the sons of the prophets that were at Jericho came to Elisha, and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today? And he answered, Yea, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Elijah said unto him, Tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they too went on. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they too stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle, and wrapped it together, and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee, before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, My father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in 2 pieces. He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, Where is the Lord God of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elijah went over. And when the sons of the prophets which were to view at Jericho saw him, they said, The spirit of Elijah doth rest on Elisha. And they came to meet him, and bowed themselves to the ground before him. And they said unto him, Behold, now there be with thy servants 50 strong men. Let them go, we pray thee, and seek thy master, lest peradventure the Spirit of the Lord hath taken him up, and cast him upon some mountain, or into some valley. And he said, Ye shall not send. And when they argued him till he was ashamed, he said, Send. They sent therefore 50 men, and they sought 3 days, but found him not. And when they came again to him, for he tarried at Jericho, he said unto them, Did I not say unto you, Go not? And the men of the city said unto Elisha, Behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth, but the water is naught, and the ground barren. And he said, Bring me a new cruse, and put salt therein. And they brought it to him. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters, and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake. And he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. And he turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria.